welcome to another Lawn Fawn video. Today we are going to be making a super cute holiday card, and I'm using our set Into the Woods and just doing some quick Copic coloring on this sweet little deer. Now I'm going to stamp out one of the birds from our winter sparrow set. I love this little mini set. So I'm going to stamp out that sweet one with its cute little earmuffs and then add some quick Copic marker coloring. Next, I'm going to use the coordinating dies for both Into the Woods and Winter Sparrows to cut them out, and I love that cute little white border it leaves. This is one of my favorite papers from the Into the Woods collection. It's got a great wood grain on the back and the adorable birch trees that we're going to use on the front, and I'm cutting down a piece to 3.5 by 5 inches. And now I'm going to go ahead and use our set Let It Snow. It has this fun little snow background builder. So I'm going to use some white pigment ink from Colorbox. It's my favorite white ink. And I'm going to go ahead and start building this snowy background on top of the pattern paper. Now the best way to use this stamp is to stamp it staggered. So I'll stamp it one way and then another way, and that way the snow really looks random. It looks really, really pretty this way. And I love stamping on top of pattern paper. It just adds a cool extra element to it. I decided I wanted even more snow flurries, so I started stamping them overlapping each other and also stamping on top of each other just to add a little bit more sort of white to the snow and just to create more of that flurry type look. I need some cute little snow banks for my birch trees to sit on, so I'm just hand cutting a little snow bank, and I'm going to layer 2 of them on top of each other. That way it really gives some dimension and really looks like cute snow. My next step is to start hiding the little deer behind one of the birch trees. I've had this idea since we came up with this paper. I really wanted to have one of the critters hiding behind the little tree. So right now I'm using my little pencil here to create some tick marks so that I know how wide to make my little slit. And I'm using a fingertip craft knife by Fiskars. I love this thing. And I'm just going to create a nice little slit there right along the tree. And you'll see here, as I went to check, I realized that the deer wasn't going to fit that way. So I extended the line a little bit more, and now the deer could fit, but he was way too far behind the tree because there's no way that much of him could fit behind a skinny tree. So I extended the slit again and just kept doing it again and again. And that's the best way to do this, depending on your critter, is to start with a smaller slit and then keep adding. That way he'll fit really nicely in there. Now I want to add some dimension to my paper. So I'm going to cut out some more birch trees from another scrap of this birch paper. And I'm going to cut them out and layer them over the 2 trees where the bird and the deer are hanging out. I made sure to go ahead and cut out a similar tree to the one that's already there on my paper so that the bird would have the little branch to sit on. And then my next step is to add one of my favorite parts of this card. And what I'm doing is just taking a piece of red felt here, and I'm going to create a cute little scarf for the deer. And then I went ahead and tested it on the deer, and it was a little bit too thick, so I decided just to cut that piece in half, and I can save the other one for another critter. And then I'm going to use some glue dots to secure the scarf down. So I'll put one right along his neck so I can hold that first piece of the scarf. And then another one kind of at that little joining point so that it really looks like it's tied around his neck. Next, I'm using some foam adhesive to adhere my little cut out birch trees on top. I'm using the half height, I think it's the 1/8 inch height of foam squares there for this birch tree, and then I'm going to use the normal height foam squares for the other tree, and that'll just help give some dimension to the forest. Then I'm just going to trim off the ends because I wanted to make sure the trees lined up, so I kind of had some extra on there. And then it's time to start adhering my cute little snowy hills onto my scene, and I love seeing it all come together. I put some foam adhesive on my deer and I'm just going to slip him through that slit I created earlier that's now kind of hidden behind that extra birch tree, and just place him in the perfect position. And then I'm going to add a double layer of foam adhesive onto the little winter sparrow's bird and put him on there, and I love that he looks even further out on the card. I thought it would look really pretty to have a red card base since we have the red scarf and the red earmuffs. So I'm just layering that panel on top of a card base. And now I'm going to use one of my favorite sentiments from our Winter Gifts stamp set. I love this font on the Happy Holidays. And I'm just using some red ink on a little strip of white cardstock. And then I'm going to create a little flagged end by cutting a slit down the middle and then using my scissors to connect the point to the top of the slit. And that creates a cute little flagged banner end and just a little extra interest for the sentiment on the card. I'm using double foam adhesive on this one too because I really want it to stand out. And I just love how it is looking on the card. And for a finishing touch, I thought I would use some of our peppermint lawn trimmings. I love this stuff and it goes really well with our kind of red and white theme that we have going on. And I'm just going to tie it around the card in just a simple knot because there's already a lot going on in the card, so I thought a knot would be perfect. And because a holiday card is not a holiday card without some glitter, I'm using a Wink of Stella glitter pen in clear here just to add a little glitter to these snowbanks just for a little extra shimmer and shine. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!